Good day, traders. Hoping that everybody's doing well today. Let's hop on the markets and see what we've got. This is Master FxShifu from the Universal Forex Dojo. Okay, let's see what we've got today. Do drop your pairs on the slide there. Comments, be as honest as you can. Drop your likes, and let's grow. Okay. I'm just going to hop on and see some of the pairs that you guys like and see if we can't find anything. Morning, Andrew. Hoping that you're doing well today. Okay, let's see. If you guys want me to look at today, which instruments you guys want me to start with, I'm going to try go as detailed as low as possible so we can at least try get some setups that do trigger during the live or right after the London Open. So let's see if that will work out, and then we will take it from there. I see Tarai, good morning. Great day to make money. Let's do as much as we can. Morning, Kevin. I see someone else has to look at NAS, gold. And yeah, NAS is the usual suspect. Here's 100. And we got this beautiful, beautiful move last week. I'll just zoom in a bit more. But just starting with the usual, always making sure you know where you are on the daily. Always make sure you do. Overall, we are bearish. We are extremely bearish. So we should expect price to drop a bit lower than the current level. Probably hit these lows over here. It almost hit the current candle, or rather yesterday's candle, and almost hit that zone. And once it does, can even go further down. We will have a decent move to try hop in on these zones over here. But now that'd be a very long time to wait. So let's just hop into the lower time frames and see what we can find. Okay. This was a decent setup I was talking about. Price went into the stop loss range. We waited for a bit of momentum, scrolled into the 5-minute, 1-minute time zones, and then tanked with it. So I'm just hoping that some of you guys got this move. Let's see what we can get today. Good morning, Kahiso. Okay, so on the hourly, this is what it looks like. I've got this massive imbalance over here. I keep telling guys that when you trade indices, you always want to make sure that you don't get wicked out very quickly, because they tend to get extremely aggressive, extremely aggressive. But yeah, so judging from this alone, we should be having a bit of a bullish move. This is on the hourly, by the way. We should be targeting getting in from that point over there. And then if we go deeper into price, just to refine it to an unmitigated candle, we should be able to get something decent. Let's see. There's also a potential candle to work with. Remember now, based off the hourly, and if you've got a good, say for example, I'm just gonna open this like that. This is your trading range, which would be at the slight retracement here and all the way to the high, meaning now your trade should be anywhere below this 50% here of the fib. So if you trade anything below here, you should have a good R, but now the lower you are, then you should have a better RR, but less likely of the trade triggering. So just bear that in mind, and then let's go deeper and see if we can't get the setup in here on a better R. So this one is still here. And remember, guys, you don't use limit orders, so you don't want to wait for price to get in the stop loss range, and you start watching what it does to the upside, of course, until you can get a decent entry point. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so this will be the OB we'll be working with. Looks unmitigated. Slight tap into it here. And yeah, I think that should be fine. We could use this one as well. We could actually go for both. And then just take this low over here, which will make sure that you don't get wicked out or wicked in and eventually hitting your stops. So this is how your setup would look on the higher one, with a bit higher probability of triggering, but less R. And then this would be your second setup, also targeting the highs and trying to make sure that you do get a setup in there. So this is how it would look. And then to get into this one, we would have to go deeper, go into the lower 1 minute time frame, and then just watch what it does in the stop loss range. And usually what happens is once it breaks this median point, of the stop loss range, then I place buy stops. Or once I start seeing some breaker structure and an upward momentum on the lower time frames, then you can get in and get a decent setup in there. Don't forget to like the stream, guys. Don't forget to like the stream. I see here Frank has got a question. How do you know if a level will hold or if it will continue downward? Price might find a level yet further proceeding for downward after temporarily finding a level. Yes, I think that's the beauty about levels, Frank. Levels are meant to be broken. The question is where would you be when the break happens? So, for example, when we trade, we start with your higher time frame analysis, and we trade lower time frame within the higher time frame. I was explaining this last week, I think, whereby if you've got something like this, if you've got structure that looks like this on an hourly, and then you've got a daily zone here, which is a bit strong. Say, for example, the daily level is strong. Let's make it black. Sorry. So the daily level is strong, and you've been watching structure going down on the hourly. So what happens is, because we know that there's a level here and it's strong and the chance of it holding a high, we start basically trying to either avoid trading in this area, or when we start seeing momentum switching to the upside in the lower time frame, then we know that this level of the daily zone is still holding. So then we can anticipate a reversal and price going back up again to a different level. And then if it breaks the zone and it continues giving us this type of structure, then we can anticipate that this lower time frame structure will hold and trade downwards with it. So we are always trying to figure out what price is showing us. We are not trying to get in. Okay, guys, we can hop onto some buy stops shortly. It's almost here. So if you do place your buy stops, then let's see how far it goes with the, let's see what it does. And this is for educational purposes, guys. We're not giving advice. So you'll be have a buy stop at 1309.4.2 with the stop loss is 1307.4.3. And then you'd have your break even at 13,111, so something along these lanes. And then, yeah, let's see how that works out. So I hope this makes sense, Frank. I hope what I just broke down for you makes sense. And then let's see what it does. Okay. And that's how you know, yeah, if it'll hold, if you can avoid it. And remember, guys, we are trading probabilities here. The chances of you being correct are 50-50, goes up or down. It's all up to the market, what the market shows you. And just like this, the US 100, in order for you to avoid getting wicked out or say, for example, this setup could easily just continue going down and then only trigger at the bottom. Easily. So the only way we are managing this, the only way we are avoiding getting these type of wicked out is to basically use momentum to get into the stop loss range, to drop down to your lower time frames and try and find structure that agrees with what you're trying to do. If it doesn't agree, then you don't get in. And that's one of the reasons why I personally use buy stops and why my students use buy stops. As Lionel says, NAS looks like a short. Probably. Let's see how it works out. Remember, this was taken from the hourly. So we'll see how that works out. It's taken from the hourly and based off, let me just show you quickly, based off what's happening here. We did see this break happening here, where it was a bit bearish, sorry, and then eventually retraced, breaking structure at the top, tried retracing, giving us this minor pullback, broke structure again, and when it retraced to this OB in here, which is this setup here, and one that we found in here, we are looking for price to continue to the upside, potentially going to these levels here. So we'll just see how that worked out. There we go. And I think that's the beauty about combining a lot of your setups, a lot of your knowledge on trading, because I mean, with us using the whole momentum trading thing, it had nothing to do with smart money at the beginning, but the way our trades worked out when we incorporated that in, it was much better than going in blind with limit orders. And yeah, so try to avoid that. Okay, so we'll see how it works out. And like I explained last week, once you do have a setup and you are sorted, you can just put an alert at the entry. And once you've got the alert at the entry, alert at the break even. And then, yeah, so it's going to work out one of two ways. Trigger your setup, drop and give you a stop loss. Trigger your setup, go to your break even. And that's all you're waiting for once you're here. You don't need anything else. You don't have to adjust your setups. Just leave it as is. So that's it for US 100. We'll come back and look at it. Okay. I see Raj wants us to take a look at USD Swiss Franc. And we did have a gold as well. Love from India. Love you too, Jay. Keep supporting us. Keep liking the stream, guys. Let's grow. I did check you out. It's rejecting the 1000 EMA. EU and GU. Okay. We'll definitely take a look at those. Starting with gold. Gold is one of those setups that really, once you get it, you'll be good. If you don't, it will humble you. It will show you what it's made of, and it will dismantle your account. Just remember that. And the thing with gold, guys, gold and indices actually, try and avoid trading them with a small account. If you avoid that, you'll be good. Try and do that. So, for example, when you have small accounts and you're trading indices and gold, I see somebody wants us to look at Euro USD. We'll hop into that. So, as I was saying, with gold and indices, guys, your account has to be pretty good for you to trade it effectively, consistently, with good risk management. Because now, once you start trading 0.1 lot sizes on gold with $100 account or $1,000 account, you are reducing your chances of having a losing streak and surviving that. Because remember, most pro traders, they do go through that phase of having a whole lot of losses. And when they do, if you don't have a big account, then you are going to lose out. So rather stick to your pairs, your Forex pairs if you're trading small accounts, because it allows you to manage your risk better. Okay, so let's just let me just erase these. It's from last week. We had a number of good setups as well on gold. I'm going to hop onto the hourly and see what the hourly is giving us. Okay, so I'm just going to close these. So on the hourly gold, okay, let's start gold on the 4 hourly. Let's just see what it's giving us. Okay, so we first had this BOS over here after this massive downtrend, but it does look like it was a fake out. So we are continuing bearish. We do have this minor low, retraced, fake out. Price came back down again, breaking structure, leaving us with some orders that we can take from the top up here, provided we do see it clearly. And remember, you always want to trade clear price action. So already from the 4 hourly, I can say that we do have bearish bias. And remember, like what I just explained to Frank just now, this zone is based off the daily. This key level here is based off the daily. So we know that even in our downward move, we should know that in this area, we are most likely going to get a bit of an incident. I used to call them sensitive areas. And when we get to this area, we should either be in a trade, break even already, taking some partials, or not even touching it, waiting to see what it does here. If it starts bouncing, starts giving you some bullish structure, then you can get in from there. So we'll see how that works out. So here's one that we just triggered. So now all we do is just wait to see if it goes either into the stop loss or if it goes into the break even. Okay, hop back into the hourly, go into the hourly time zone on gold. And remember, guys, risk management is also very important. We don't risk anything more than 0.2% because we know that, listen, the market does tend to humble people. So we just stick to your 0.2%, targeting 5R, and keeping it as simple as that. It allows us to trade more and effectively and really count on the bigger moves. Okay, so with gold, still bearish on the hourly, but now in this region here, we've got a bit of a range. Okay, just hold on for me, guys. Okay, let's see. So on the hourly, we've got this region here, which is ranging, definitely ranging. But also now you start seeing structure inside here as well, with the high being formed, a low, a high, a break of structures now, which means we should expect something in this region. And let me just find it for you guys. So we'd have something along these ranges. And you still have this low here. So chances of price will probably drop to this level. But let's see how it looks. Let's go deeper into price. And remember, the deeper you go, the lower your stop loss range, the higher the chances of you getting wicked out are. Okay, so it looks like this one did get a bit mitigated. Just go back and use my colors. Hop into the lower time frame again. So now we're only seeing this zone here. And we are seeing this one here, which got a bit mitigated there. So if you go deeper into price, so we'll have something along. And remember now with gold, Gold also moves aggressively. So try and be careful of that. And then let's go into the 15. So this is how your setup would probably look. Okay, remember now, you're working on this BOS over here, which means, sorry about that, this BOS over here, we actually have to remove this one because now this one got invalidated. And then we will have this zone to work with inside this level, which means our trading range would be this one over here. And this zone still falls above the 50% mark. So it does give us a bit of room to work with. Guys, don't forget to like the stream. Don't forget to like the stream. So we'd have something along these ranges. And then with gold as well, try by all means to stick to the momentum, because this one does tend to get very aggressive. So we'd have something along these ranges. So I'd simply put an alert at the entry. Then when price does come back into the zone, we basically wait for it to give us a bit of a structure to the downside and then hop in on the lower time frames. So that's how gold will be approached. And then I see Raj wants us to look at USD Swiss Franc. Okay, we'll take a look at that. So I've marked gold here. Then let's hop on to USD Swiss Franc. See what the daily is showing us. And we've had a very aggressive bullish move on it. I think the only reason why I seldom trade these is because it's very, very difficult to find an optimal zone to enter as it does this. And this is on the daily, by the way. So technically, you should be waiting for price to drop into this area and push to the upside. But now, why would it? Let me just show you quickly. If you do have a BOS over here, and then we expect to come down to here and move to the upside, chances are if it does drop this much, we are going to see it break in the zone and continue to the downside. So let's see what the 4 hour is showing us. Yeah, it's a bit too loud for my liking, actually. And then the hourly, we had this BOS, price push to the upside, which is retracing slightly, breaking it a bit over here. I actually wouldn't trade USD Swiss Franc today. I wouldn't. I'm not getting any clean price action. And I always want to see it clean. It has to be very simple to see. If you struggle to find areas, you end up creating the areas and end up creating your own setups, which end up going the other way around. So USD Swiss Franc, I wouldn't touch it. Okay. I see Pimp wants us to look at EU and GU. Definitely take a look. GU is in a nice demand zone. And then Euro USD, we'll take a look. Frank dropped a question here again. I'll take a look as well. So let's just hop onto EU and GU. Don't forget to like the stream, guys. Don't forget to like the stream. Euro USD, always want to see what the daily is telling us so we can understand where we are in price. I think I was explaining the new addition to our Wushu toolbox. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be definitely crazy. Hopefully we'll get it done sooner so it can go live. Okay, so with the daily, already we can see that there's a bit of an area, a very, very sensitive area. And if you go to the left, we'll probably find a zone that it's agreeing with. Yep, this one over here. So this is a very interesting area to be careful of. And then let's hop onto the 4 hour. And then let's see how we can actually trade that area. It's going to be exactly what I just explained to Frank just now. So just be careful and watch what it does. Okay, so we see this downward momentum from the top side. Retrace, lower high, break of structure, lower high, break of structure, giving us lower lows, lower highs. So we should be seeing another break of structure on the hourly. But remember, now it's doing this very close to our sensitive area. So ideally, with this type of setup, I'm just going to give you a bit of a scenario. What you want to see is this. Either we have a break of this level and then this zone holding. And once the zone hold and then you get a break, you will see something that looks like this. And then you would want to wait for a retracement into the area that the low that it creates now, whenever it decides to. And then once you get this break, once you get this one, it'll confirm one thing, that your daily level, being this line over here, is strong and is holding. So using this daily level, you're using structure to build a bias of a bullish push. I hope that makes sense. So this is how you'd want to approach Euro USD. And actually, I'm just going to put an alert here. I'm going to put an alert here. So I'd want to wait for the break first. If it continues to the downside and breaks this level, you basically essentially wait to trade from this area to the downside. Or you'd want to wait for a new level to be created below the key zone to trade. So always watch down. Watch that, watch that, watch that. Okay, so that's how to approach Euro USD. And then meanwhile, remember guys, in all these time frames, there's trades everywhere. It's all about your risk appetite and how you'd want to do it. So for example, in this area here, we could find a good setup. Let's see. Okay, the very same thing that we see at the top, you start seeing it at the bottom. Lower high, break of structure, minor break of structure here, very minor. But it leaves room for a setup in here, going to the sensitive area. And this is one of those tighter positions, which means the chances of you getting worked out are higher. Your risks increase dramatically. So you'd want to be careful of that. Okay. So I'm just going to drop to the 1 minute. Okay, nothing in there. Leave it on the 5 minute. And then we will have something decent. I'm just going to close that. Close that. And then we'd have something along these lanes, targeting these lows over here. And then remember, momentum as well. You always want to make sure you're using momentum. So once price does trigger this alert, we wait to see what it does in the zone. So it'll either push to the top side or drop. And if it does hit the 50% mark, we can put a sell stop and just wait to see what it does. So until that happens, this is one of those setups that you're looking at from a distance and following your alerts. I hope that makes sense, guys. I hope it makes sense. Okay, I see we've got a question here from Frank again here. He's asking, while highlighting your unmitigated point of interest, should we always go to the 1 minute time frame to get the actual B? No, you don't have to go to the 1 minute. You can stop at the 1 hour. You can stop at the 30. It's just that the more you refine, the tighter you stop. The tighter you stop, the quicker you can get to break even, the more R's you can get. So it always boils down to how low you want to go. Usually I leave it at 15 minute and on the normal 4 hour, 1 hour setups. And then once I do get into the 15-minute stop loss range, I would get into the range, drop further to a 5 minute, 1 minute, and see what it does in that range. And once price starts giving me structure within the range, then I can start trading it. So I don't trade it naked using the 15-minute order blocks or minute order blocks. I still want to get a bit of confirmation deeper in price. I hope that makes sense. Berry Finance wants to look at all CAD. Okay. I see somebody here wanted GU. Okay, we'll hop into all CAD after GU. Okay, always get your daily. Always get your dailies. And already just by the look of it, I don't see anything clean that I can trade. Let's just go lower for hour. Okay. We may start seeing some good structure here. Let's go into the hourly. Okay, let's see what we've got. Remember, the higher you go as well, once you start looking at your higher time frames, you can start removing the noise. For example, on the 4 hour, which is what we just started with to mark this high, we do see this happening. So we're expecting this level to hold and then expecting this zone to be broken. And that's the only time we'll to trade. If this doesn't hold, we continue to the downside. If this zone holds and this one breaks, we look for an entry inside here. That's based on the 4 hour. And then if you hop onto the 15 lower time frames, you can see now that once you start seeing price action inside, knowing very well that you've got these two levels that you're waiting for, then you can trade these minor structures inside, which would look something like this. We do have this high retracement over there, breaker structure there. So meaning we could potentially have a setup inside here. And then if you do refine it further, just to pick out a good entry point. If you don't get a good entry point, we are going to ignore it. And we are not getting one as well. Okay, though, this window we're going to ignore. Okay, let's go to the hourly and see what the hourly is showing us. The hourly is giving us, we've got the high, we've got the low, lower high, breaker structure, retracing, potentially get back into this region over here. And if we go deeper into price to try and refine it and see if we can find a good unmitigated OB to work with, then we can potentially look at the setup. And yes, we do. So we've got this zone over here. Ideally, I'd want to keep these highs depending on how long, how many pips this is. And if it's too high, I'll refine it further. So Euro USD just got into our zone there. We're going to hop into it as well. So GU, that's where we are. So potentially look for a sell in this region based off what the hourly is showing me. So it'll look something like that. And then you have your alert as usual. And just wait. So you just wait. So with GU now, we're waiting for two things. We're waiting for price to get into this region, drop, or we're waiting for it to respect the zone here at the bottom, break the one at the top, on the 4 hour, by the way, and then push bullish, and then we still trade that bullish move as well. But until this one is broken, we don't have a specific area to work with inside here. So for now, this is how it's going to look. We are going to watch it and see how far it goes. And then Euro USD just wicked into our zone. Just going to zoom in. And then let's see what it does inside the zone. Remember, you don't just quickly get into the setup. You want to see what price does inside here. Okay. I see later wants us to look at US30. Central bank increase the rates. Please look at AJ. We'll take a look at it. Yeah, we did go over gold, Spencer. Do you narrow down to the 1 minute on your trades? Yes, I do. If I'm on the charts, I do go down to the 1 minute so I can just try see what it's given me, and if it confirms my overall bias. So that's what I always want to see. Okay, so now Euro USD, it's at the 50% mark. So what we can do from here, it's either play sell stops or wait to see it drop down first. And until it does that, we don't touch it. So if you had gotten in with a limit order, you would have been kicked out of the trade. So now sell stops all the way to the downside. Let's see what they do. So I'll have an alert here. You just give me a second, guys. AJ will take a look. I see Dream Team FX thinks this sell will hold. Let's see how it plays out. Verify notions. We're going to look at RCAD after GU. Okay. Take a look at RCAD and then US 30 and see how that holds. So that'll be a trigger into Euro USD. So your next point of entry would be at 1R. Your next point actually that you have to be concerned about is 1R. And it either triggers that or hits a stop loss. So that's what you need to be focused on. So we'll have this alert over there. Yep, just nice liquidity. Yep, didn't break structure. I was going to look at RCAD after GU. Okay. So on this, we just have to watch and see what it does. RCAD, I think I have it at the bottom. There we go. And one of the basic rules I follow as well, once you hit 2 losses in a row, either get out, come back either during the New York open. So we'll just see how that goes. Let me just erase these. This is the daily on RCAD. So 2 losses in a row, you take it out. And if you're out using the 0.2% risk one as well, that's 5 losses, which is 1% per day. Then you stop trading, reanalyze, refocus, look at the next one. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. 4 hours. We've got 15 minutes until the London Open, guys. 15 minutes until the London Open. Okay, let's see. I'll get on the 4 hour. I'll get on the 4 hour. Let's see what that shows us. Okay, I'll just hop on quickly. And also, let's take a look at the setup that we did earlier before the London Open, guys, so we can see what we've got here. What was it, 15 minute? So we should be approaching 1 hour just now. Those that did catch the US 100 setup that we started with. Should be approaching the 1R. I'm not going to come back to it. So if you could manage it properly, if it does hit your 1R, just move your stop to break even, or you can do it now and then just wait and don't close your trades. I'm just going to give you guys the numbers for this US 100 trade. There we go. So usually in my bootcamp, guys, I do tell them that you want to hold your trades until they give you your nice R's. So we'll probably hold until it gets to the 5R setup, or this week over here. So we'd have something along these ranges. So these are the price points that I'm giving you guys. So if you did take the buy here, so at 1R, your stop is at break even. I would advise not to cut your trades too soon, but to the nervous guys, you can close half the trade. And then at 2R, for the guys that would want to hold, you close half at this point here. You can close half there. And then from then on, you wait for 5R, then you can adjust it again. So your price points would be 13,115, which would be 50%. 13,135, you move your stop again to 1R. And then finally 13,174 to 13,197, which is where I did want to focus on. So, okay, we are done with US 100. You should have made some greens here. Let's go into the CAD setup that we're looking at now. See what we can find there. Let's go 4 hour. I'm starting it again. Hop into the hourly. Okay, the hourly is giving us something else as well. We do see this deep bearish move, and then a bit of a change here at the top here. So if you do go into deeper, this wick is very sensitive. Okay. And then let's see where we go from here. I don't like this area, guys. I personally don't like this area. I don't like this. It's a bit too minor because you have this big push. You've got your imbalances, of course, at the bottom. And then you've got this massive wicks. So I definitely don't think I'll trade this. I would not trade. It does look clean, guys. It does honestly look clean. But I think if we had a better retracement in here, then it would definitely be good. But until that happens, no, I will not touch this. Let's see how it looks on the 4 hour. We might leave something for the next couple of days that you guys can trade and maybe get a good setup. No, still nothing. Guys, don't forget to like the stream. Don't forget to like the stream. Okay, let's hop on there. Don't FOMO, wait until it retraces. Yep, definitely. Patience, wait for price to come to you. Wait for price to come to you. There's quite a lot of setups here. Guys, we've got 10 minutes until the London Open. So I'll be hopping off shortly. Euro USD just hit one of our points. Let's go back into it. And then go back into it deeper. One minute. Go back here. There we go. So either got wicked out right here at the top, and then one of the two. So we are out of Euro USD. Definitely out. Don't trade again. We could get a good sell, but now, no, leave it at that. So we'd have US 100 running, and then you'd have hit a loss on Euro USD. So keep that in mind. So one win, one loss. Manage it accordingly. Remember, guys, don't cut your trades too soon. That'll always get you kicked out of the setups. I'm basically looking at the comments here. trying to respond to as many as I can. I see Dream FX is saying a lot of people don't understand that there is weak supply and demand zone. Definitely. It also comes down to which time frames you are which time frames you're analyzing, and just see how far it goes. Okay. I see Loop says you got into the sell on was one. I say BS is on 4 hour and it just came up to fill in balance, but I managed it might get out. Let's see if it does. Okay, let's look at the US 30. You've been asking for the US 30. Okay, US 30. So remember, guys, we still have price points on gold, GU that we're following. Euro USD is out. Victor's out, came back. So that one is definitely out. And then hop on to US 30. Let's see what it has. Don't forget to like the stream, guys. Don't forget to like the stream. And if you are managing the US 100, try and avoid taking more pairs. Manage what you have right now. Take as much from it as possible. Don't get out too soon. Okay, US 30 on the daily. We've got the zone here. Okay, let's hop onto the 4 hour. Okay. Massive imbalances at the top. Whole lot of liquidity laying here. The move that's going to be coming to the upside is going to be so decent and neat. Got some liquidity here. And of course, the imbalance at the top there. Let's go deeper into price. Price is not giving us something decent here. Let's see. 15-minute. No, I wouldn't touch this. I definitely wouldn't touch this one. ES 100 looks like it's about to fall. Manage accordingly, so you should break even. Have closed half the trade. Okay. Let's see what the fall is looking like. Okay, we'll take a look at US 100 just now. Right before the London Open. Okay, so this one I would not touch actually. On the 4 hour, we had this move to the downside, breakout structure, retracement, leaving that, and another breakout structure now. So if I was to trade, I'll try trade from this point of view at the top and then try handle it this way. So this would probably agree with what we are looking at. Yeah, I'd wait for it. Okay, so this is what I'm basically looking at now. Sorry, on the 4 hour. Sorry about that. We had this move from the top side, hitting the lows here, creating a lower high, dropping, breaking structure, coming back, giving us a bit of a range here, creating liquidity. Now, after we see this liquidity, we do see a massive imbalance here as well. So we should see price basically retracing back into the zone over here from in this OB here, and then drop again, breaking this point here at the bottom. So ideally, what you'd want to wait for is for this liquidity to be grabbed here. And once it does get grabbed, you'd wait for price to get into this region. And then once it does get into that region, you drop into the lower time frames. And then once you get into the lower time frames, you'd sell from there. I hope that makes sense, guys. So this would be grabbed, price would get into the zone, you drop into probably the 15-minute, 5-minute. You'd want to see price giving you the structure, have a sell, drop to the downside. An easier of doing it as well would be for you to wait for 50% of that stop loss range, which would be something along these range. So it'll be like that. And once price does get into the zone, then you place a sell stop at the 33,714, and you have your stop loss, of course, over here, and then just see it use the momentum to trigger you in, and then you manage it accordingly. So that's how I'd approach US 100, US 30. Sorry about that. And then let's just rephrase this one quickly, the US 100 setup, and then we are definitely out for the day. There we go. So we are still in the trade. I see Lewis saying, look at the position, looks it's about to fall. It depends on what time frame you're looking at as well. But yeah, so like I said, at this point, stop loss to break even. So if you guys did it here, then you're definitely out of the trade, break even. And then for those that are still waiting for it, wait for it to hit your stop, your 1R, then move your stop to break even. And you've got two choices: close half the trade, or wait for 2R, then close half the trades at 2R, which is a 13135.5 level. Until then, you hold, trust the process, let the pair do what it's supposed to do. Don't panic, and you should be fine. Anyway, guys, we are gonna prep for the London Open now. Follow the setups. Check out our website. Check out our bootcamp. Check out our wushu, and then and you can also find me on Instagram at Master FxShifu, or Forex Dojo on Instagram. Awesome, guys. Happy trading. Manage your risk properly. Keep reading, keep learning, and you'll be good. Please like the stream, guys. Like the stream. Check you guys next week, Tuesday. Happy trading.